All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're looking at why a totally basic $10 tool might actually be the ultimate secret to unlocking explosive footwork and crazy stamina on the badminton court. We're exploring a training method that the pros absolutely swear by, but for some reason, so many amateur players just completely overlook it. You know that feeling when your feet feel like literal lead blocks? Or you find yourself just glued to the floor when you're trying to return a drop shot, totally winded from a grueling rally? Well, if you've been there, you definitely need to hear exactly how this simple method cures court fatigue. It's really all about maintaining that airy, light feeling in your split step from the very first point all the way to match point. Here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. The ultimate court hack. 2. The science of skipping. 3. Boosting your badminton skills. 4. Pro and community consensus. And finally, number 5, mastering the double under. Okay, let's kick things off with part 1, the ultimate court hack, which is way more than just a playground game. First things first, we've got to smash the myth that the jump rope is just a toy for kids. Listen to this. According to fitness experts, just 10 quick minutes of jumping rope actually delivers the exact same cardiovascular benefits as 30 minutes of jogging. It's wild. You're getting massive cardio gains in just a fraction of the time, and you're avoiding all that prolonged wear and tear on your knees that you'd get from long-distance running. To put that kind of effort into perspective, the American Heart Association says you can burn an incredible 600 calories in just 1 hour of skipping. 600! But honestly, it's not even just about burning fat. It's really about how efficiently your body learns to process oxygen during those high-intensity intervals, which, if you think about it, perfectly mimics the stop-and-go chaos of a real badminton match. What blows my mind is the actual physiological timeline of this transformation. Check this out. In just week 1, you're already building basic stamina and tightening up those absolutely crucial calf muscles. Fast forward to week 4, and your brain is working in overdrive, perfectly syncing your hand and foot movements to give your reflexes a major boost. And by month 2, you're actually increasing your bone density thanks to all those low-impact landings. It's literally building an ironclad foundation for injury-free endurance. Moving right along to part 2, the science of skipping, where we prove exactly where all that explosive power comes from. Olympic badminton player Howard Shue actually hit the nail on the head here. He points out that jump roping is basically the ultimate plyometric exercise for developing your fast-twitch muscle fibers. When you're desperately lunging for a tight net shot or leaping up for a massive smash, your body relies entirely on these specific fibers to fire off those short, explosive bursts of movement. And yes, there is hard science to back this up. A rigorous 12-week study over at Chengdu University actually put numbers to this power. They split up a group of young athletes, and get this, the jump rope group dramatically outpaced the control group, shaving over 7 whole seconds off their 400-meter dash time. That is a massive, massive difference in speed and endurance, all completely attributed to just adding the jump rope to their routine. So that brings us to part 3, boosting badminton skills, and how this directly applies on the court. I mean, you might be wondering, does jumping up and down really make you better at hitting a shuttlecock? Actually, yeah, for sure. A fascinating study in the International Journal of Physical Education recorded an undeniable 28% surge in volleying test scores for a jump rope training group. Think about it. When your legs aren't completely dead, your upper body can actually maintain its proper technique, which leads to way more accurate, powerful shots. And hey, the benefits definitely extend beyond just hitting things hard. That exact same study noted a significant 10% improvement in fine motor serviceabilities. Because skipping hones your overall coordination and balance so much, it directly translates into total court control, even when you're executing delicate precision shots like a short serve. So, what's the big takeaway here? Basically, skipping builds the perfect biological foundation for badminton. Hitting 500 revolutions is an absolutely incredible cardio workout. But more importantly, it unlocks that explosive power in your calves, it builds vital wrist flexibility since you're constantly twirling the rope, and it flawlessly mimics the rhythmic split stepping you do right before your opponent strikes. Let's dive into part 4, pro and community consensus. We're talking real players getting real results. You definitely don't have to just trust the lab coats on this one. Out in the real world, forum veterans emphasize the sheer, brutal intensity of this workout. Jumping rope effectively maintains that critical, high-level aerobic capacity you desperately need to close out a tough third game. While your opponent is dragging their feet, you'll still be bouncing around, totally ready to pounce. Now, a quick heads up on deer, because there's always a big debate in the community about weighted ropes versus light ropes. While heavy ropes are great for building brute shoulder strength, the community consensus strongly warns against using them for our sport. Instead, they say light speed ropes, weighing around a quarter of a pound, are far superior for training the rapid-fire agility and quick wrist snaps that badminton absolutely demands. And if you look at the absolute highest levels of the sport, this is essentially an open secret. Top players in powerhouse nations like Malaysia, Singapore, and China heavily rely on rapid-fire double unders, busting out up to 100 skips in a single minute. It's an absolute staple in their daily routines to forge an unbreakable core and relentless, endless fitness. Which perfectly leads us into part 5, mastering the double under, complete with some expert coaching. So how do we actually pull off the infamous double under? Well, Olympian Howard Shue uses this exact move to keep his feet lightning fast, and he advises that your setup is literally make or break. First, step right on the center of your rope to check the length. Those handles should be resting just a few inches above your hips. If your rope is too long, it's going to be incredibly tiring. And if your arms are just flailing away from your body, getting the timing right will be absolutely impossible. You've got to keep those elbows tucked tight. When it comes to the actual technique, the single biggest rookie mistake is using your shoulders or your full arms to spin the rope. Nope. All of that rotational power needs to be isolated right there in your wrists and forearms. You want to bounce really lightly on the balls of your feet, keeping your legs fairly straight. Whatever you do, don't kick your feet back or try to tuck your knees up to your chest. Honestly, finding the rhythm is usually the trickiest part of the whole shebang. The motion is essentially one strong swing, followed immediately by a follow-through swing. Just keep a steady 1-2-1-2 count going in your head. Howard actually suggests being super patient and practicing this timing by just jumping and tapping your hands against your sides before you even pick up the rope. It's all about building up that automatic muscle memory. So we've walked through the hard science, the community proof, and the pro-level techniques. The next time you find yourself totally gassed in the middle of a crucial third game, ask yourself, did your opponent really outplay you? Or did they just outskip you? The evidence is all there. So what are you waiting for? Grab a rope and completely transform your game.